This weather video is driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, and 802 Honda. They're all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. Here's the temperature anomaly, and the temperatures currently. This looks very similar to what we had the setup back in mid to late December, with the coldest air sort of bleeding out of Siberia across the poles, where it's actually above normal in temperature here. However, this colder air is making some pretty good inroads here east of the mountains of the west and continuing to sort of slide toward areas of Vermont. Baroclinic zone, where all the main action's been taking place, is here. Now, looking at the temperature anomalies as to compare to what is normal, the baseline, colder than normal here and then warmer than normal currently over us with an influx of warm intrusion. And indeed, that's what's causing our mixed precipitation issues and some wet snow loading. Here's a quick look at snow cover across the northern hemisphere. Okay, looking at the current storm that's in progress right now, we're not going to concentrate too much on that. You can see that it pulls away. We get a little bit of snow tailing off overnight tonight, some gradient winds, and then better conditions work in on Monday afternoon into Monday night. Then we have a kind of an Alberta Clipper system that falls apart. That's going to happen on Tuesday. And then we're watching Wednesday's system, which has a little more juice to it. This is loaded for bear here. And you can see it's very similar to the last weather system as it slides by. It's fraught with all sorts of issues because we have an area of low pressure at 96 hours that's going to be pulling in gradient winds along the central and southern Green Mountain western slopes. Some of these wind gusts indicate anywhere between 40 and potentially 60 miles an hour. Might be a little bit on the high end. But at 96 hours, beyond that, this pulls away. We got potential for some wet snow loading as it's pretty juiced up product of the times. And then it pulls away very similarly, has that look very much like what we're going to see overnight tonight. And during the morning hours on Monday, this happens basically on Thursday, very similar. And then we get a little better day on Fridays, it looks like, with high pressure that's building in here before the next Clipper system moves on in. I just want to carry this through just to give you a heads up as to what might be happening behind this and just beyond. So we have yet another weather system. It has a very similar look. It looks like it's going to be fraught with multiple precipitation types, and then it moves on out and so forth. This is valid. We're up to about the 12th of February on Monday. Okay, here's weather system number 1. This is centered on Burlington, Vermont, the GFS ensemble, and only indicating around 0.3 of an inch total precipitation here. A little bit of flurry activity again, and then here's our next weather system. Roughly, we'll say 0.4 of an inch to 1.2 inches. And you can see this has a lot more juice to it, and then a little bit of a pause, and then that third system that's far out beyond this period with mixed rainfall. Okay, we have a total of 2 weather systems that start basically Gulf of Mexico moisture. And these track, of course, to the northeast and clipping our neck of the woods, kind of a rain-snow line roughly here. Also notice the drying out of the west, and most of the action is going to be along this baroclinic zone, and then picking up Gulf of Mexico moisture and then spreading it north and east. And taking a look at the GFS ensemble temperatures here, we're right about 32 degrees at Burlington. And you can see that we take a little bit of a downtick here, and not indicating the same thing as the European, which is seeing temperatures above 32 degrees, at least in portions of southern Vermont. Of course, this is centered on Burlington, but that is very strong potential there. And then you can see a little bit of a dive here. We can almost call this Arctic chill, but we're only talking about temperatures that get a little bit below zero here after the, looks like the 9th and more toward the 10th and 11th. And this is the name of the game here. Cold to the north and east of the Rockies, in the plains, all the way to the east coast, the northeast U.S. Relatively warm in the south, and certainly warm out west. What about 3 days later? Not a lot of change. Hey, looking at the large-scale satellite picture here going back to the 29th of January, and you can see the evolution pattern there. So to summarize, the headlines here: 2 storm systems to contend with, one that's occurring in progress rest of today into Monday morning. then another on Wednesday into Thursday morning. Of the two, the Wednesday into Thursday morning system is more intense. This means more moisture. Future heads-up will be issued beginning tomorrow, Monday. Please see latest updates on ongoing storm system with some wet snow loading potential, some parts of elevated terrain across southern Vermont this Sunday night. Now, the Wednesday storm system with more moisture expected, downsloping wind gusts, central and southern Green Mountains, also decent snowfall across the central and northern part of Vermont taking shape. As it looks right now, this system will evolve. There is some wet snow loading potential and some minor glazing possible across southern Vermont. The next dry project weather day develops not until late this week on Friday. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.